Good morning. This is Jackie from Carnivore Corner. I look awful. My looks this morning remind me, I know I just woke up. I woke up way early. The guys went hunting, woke me up, turned the lights on. I look like one of those old ladies, diabetes and no teeth. And I have teeth. I don't know. We need to do something about this. Anyway, it's been a busy weekend. Yesterday, we went to Davenport and picked up the chicks. They are in the backyard. The trip itself is good. My husband, zoom, there is no stopping. If you got to go pee, hold it for an extra 5 miles kind of thing. He brought ham along. I had a little bit of that with the dog. The dog's at my feet right now. And we had that for late breakfast. Then we had a late lunch. Oh my gosh, no wonder I look pudgy. He was not agreeable on where to eat out. I mentioned McDonald's. No, we do that all the time. So I mentioned we stop at a Casey's and I'd eat the toppings off of meat pizza. No, we do that all the time. You know the jokes about women don't know where they want to eat? I could have harmed him yesterday. It was so stressful. I really wanted food. And he was being an ass. So we're driving around. It's Easter Sunday. Everything is packed. It's either packed or it's closed. And he says, oh, let's go to that Mexican place. So I'm looking at the menu. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it is early. It is 5:20 in the morning. My God. So we stopped this Mexican place and we parked and we got a table right where we can see little Odin. And little Odin is right down here sleeping. But we got a table where we could see him. And looked at the order. And usually I get fajitas, but I didn't want to go through the hassle of ordering and telling him to leave everything else, on another plate or pick through it. And I just told him I wanted the steak, the ribeye steak. It's $20. I want a ribeye steak. That's what I want. You know what they brought me? Several slivers of this really thin, what probably was once ribeye, but probably 4 slivers of that. It was not even an 8-ounce steak. By the time you get all the piled up there, it was not 8 ounces, maybe 5. And I told the guy I wanted medium rare, and he looked at me funny. That's why. They're so thin. They didn't taste overly seasoned, but you never know. They probably did marinate the crap out of them. So I ate that. No other options. I did drink 2 monsters, the green monsters, yesterday. Those, I tested them with my glucose monitor. They don't bother me. Probably shouldn't drink the second one at 5:30 in the evening, though. I had a blonde moment. Oh my gosh. I'm at the gas station. He's filling in my car. It's the cheapest place around. And it's 45 minutes north of us. So you don't get there very often. So I grab a monster and I look at the clock. I looked at the clock first. And it said 3:30. Well, I can do this without keeping me up all night. So I went and got a monster. Got to the car, popped it open, started chugging it. And he says, do you know what time it is? Like, it's 3:30. Why? And he pointed the clock in the car and my heart fell. I took a couple more chugs and put it down in the console. He just shook his head, said something about we're going to regret tonight. Oh, God. So we get home, and I go to put the chicks in their pen. Before hours ago, like at 2 in the afternoon, I had texted my daughter who these chicks were for. And I had told her we're getting these chicks. As soon as she gets back from her dad, get their pen ready. What we do is we have a rabbit hutch with 4 cages. And we line the whole thing with plastic, feed bags, you name it. Hang the light, put their feet in, stuff. And it's perfect for chicks, and you can take it all out when they're bigger. And you can take it out in portions so they can slowly have more cool air. Works great. And there's also dividers between these cages. So when the chicks get big, I can open a divider and they can run between 2 cages. Works beautiful. Especially when you're raising 60 chicks at once. I've only got 6, so it shouldn't be a problem. But anyway, I get out there, and she had it ready, except there was no feed bag on the front door of the cage and nothing on the inside between the 2 cages. I was hot. She had plenty of time to do it, and she was out in the barn fiddling with the damn goats. I was hot. I had to yell at her because she was 400 yards away, across the pasture, and she come out, and I holler over the problem, and she was mad and started screaming. Took the chicks in the house, put the box down, told Heath I was going for a walk, and he says, wait, we gotta go in the basement. Our basement steps is outside, so it's like pulling eye teeth for some reason to get anybody to go down there. So we get down there, and he says, we are butchering a hog this weekend, and we need to see how much pork is left. Butchering a hog? Oh, excuse me. Butchering a hog? That is new. Okay, this is the first I've heard of this. Isn't that amazing? So, I hear my cat pounding on the window. He wants in the house. The dog's listening now. So, we go in the basement, and I pick through the deer meat, and I find 5 packages of pork left. That's it. We did good. And handed him some pork chops. And, I don't know, we grabbed up a couple other things and brought them up. And, I says, now I'm going for a walk. And I tell you what, I was angry that cage was not finished. I mean, I drove all day for these damn chicks. That cage should have been finished. And we did the trek around the pond that's just shy of 1 mile. We did that in record time. I was mad. I was talking to myself. I boogied. Came back, and he was laughing. He's like, well, that was a fast trip. So, oh boy, for supper last night, he hadn't started them yet, but he was going to grill pork chops. We had actually, because there was nothing thawed out yesterday, I was not on the ball before we left. We bought some thick cut pork chops from Walmart. So he grilled them. I gobbled that up. It was fairly big. It didn't weigh the meat. But it was good. Gobbled that sucker right up. A little drier than I prefer. The thick cut, I don't know. He made sure it was 100% done, and maybe that was the problem. It just took too long. So anyway, we ate that, and so my meals yesterday were as clean as I could get, considering the situation. But I noticed my ring is tight this morning. My face looks pudgy. I mean, it's pudgy anyway, but it's puffy as hell. Is this what I look like every morning before I go to work? Oh boy. I don't wear makeup. This is me. I usually wear glasses. But they don't look that hot in the video. I'm not blind. I just can't see a distance to drive and whatnot. So, I picked up a rotisserie chicken yesterday. I figure I can probably get 3 to 4 meals out of it. We'll see what happens. So these will be my lunches for most of this week at work. Work 4 days. Already called my boss. Ooh. Made sure we were indeed coming in today, but Monday, yeah. Made sure everybody was indeed coming in. He said I could take the day off if I wanted for the holiday, but no, I'll be in. I've got 2 teenagers in the house. I'll be in. For supper, I have that turkey breast, It's already chopped, it's thawed. And for some reason, Lucas thawed out. The pork chops I pulled out of the freezer got thawed out, and the bag of cat food I pulled out of the freezer got thawed out. The guys just threw it in the sink instead of thinking what needs thawed tonight. So now it's all thawed out. Sometimes you just want to strangle people. They are plenty old in my household. My husband's 43. My daughter is 17. My son is 15. They are plenty old. My oldest, I do have an oldest, he is 24. I think he's 24, good Lord. Anyway, he was born in '99. Oh my gosh, I need to look at that. I was thinking the end of '98, but it could have been '99. Anyway, he has a family in kind of southern Missouri down there. He got himself a girlfriend with 2 girls. Now they are 10 and 12. Don't see them very often. We helped him move. And hear from him when he needs something. When he has a question how to cook something. When he got himself a family, man, he had to man up now. And I'm proud of him, he did. But he isn't handling the stresses of life real well. He's young for that kind of a commitment. I know, back in the day it was normal, that kind of commitment. But it isn't so much now. But he's doing it, so we'll see what happens over the years. I haven't gotten my rabbit cage back either. Shoot, I need that cage. I didn't tell my husband to bring it back. I assumed they would have known. That sucks. So they have a large breed rabbit, because we raised the meat rabbits at one time. And he got the last kit from me, and it's been a pet for a couple years. And to travel it to the new house 3 miles away from where they lived, he had me bring a carrier down. Well, he had the guys bring a carrier down. I couldn't go. So the guys took a carrier down, a rabbit carrier. So the rabbit was snug. He couldn't get hurt. And it had a potty base. And they're set up for traveling. And apparently he kept him in it until everybody was out that day. I don't know why he wasn't just put in his cage when they got to the house. I don't know. But anyway, that's what happened, and my carrier got left. This hair. Gee whiz. Oh, I got a shower last night. Went to bed with a very wet head. So, that is my plans. I mean, for traveling, I eat well, but I don't think my body liked it. Maybe my body don't like getting up so damn early. That could be it. Plus stress. I had everything disturb me last night. I cannot explain why. I woke up twice, and I swear to God it's real. The bed was vibrating. Twice. And I asked my husband, it's not the first time I've had this happen. It's happened a couple other times. And he snarls at me, and as soon as I ask him about it, the vibration stops. Is it all in my head? I don't know. He's sound asleep and he's snoring. So he's not doing anything funky. I did ask him once if there's something he needs to tell me. I told him it's okay. I will work with him with it. And he laughed at me and said, no, I just want to sleep. I mean, I put the offer out. And so I don't know why I kept thinking the bed was vibrating. And then another time, see, I didn't sleep well. Caffeine. Late at night. Ooh. That was bad. Very bad. And another time, I swear to God, I heard his phone typing. like he was on the keypad. He wasn't. He was sound asleep. He did have a hard time breathing last night. Both of us seemed to have a little bit of a sinus infection going on, so he's snoring away. That did not help. So it's going to be a rough day at work. People always want food, junk food especially, when they feel like crap. Well, it's going to be one of those days. Kind of thought about doing this video as I made our wild walk around the pond last night, but the phone wasn't charged. The puppy got up and moved. Since everybody will be home today, my husband took off work to take my son turkey hunting. Both teenagers will be here. Be a perfect day for me to go and not worry about the dog, Odin, getting potty. So I don't have to take him for a walk this morning. It'll be a perfect day for all of that. They can take care of him and I can just go to work early. I'm not moving the best though. Not the best at all. That's okay. To be a good person, hi Odin. To be a good person, I should fold the laundry because I've got 3 loads that we did over the weekend. They're supposed to be folded by Sunday. It didn't happen. So I've got 3 loads that need folded. The floors need swept. The rugs need laid down because the rugs got washed. So the floors need swept and they need laid down. And nobody's going to do it if I don't do it before I go to work. Tempted to say, screw it, I ain't doing it. But when I get home, I'm going to be even more tired. I usually get off about 4, but hell, if I go in early, I'll get off a little earlier. But when I get home, I just may not be very interested. Oh, Odin. Odin wants under the blankets. I don't know if you can see. He's under the blankets. He's weird. He'll stay under there until he gets too hot. This dog does not cuddle, but this is about as close to cuddling as we get, unless we have food. If we have food, he will get right down the crook of my arm, right in the little hole in the recliner, and throw his head up on my chest, reach his paws out, and that's his cuddle. The dog will cuddle for food. There's been some nights where I really, really, really just wanted him to cuddle. So we had treats. Little bits of meat, ripped up itty bitty tiny, and slowly fed them off to him to keep him there. Because it doesn't take long. If he thinks you're out of food, man, he's just gone. Ooh. Still need to clean my fish tanks. I have 2 fish tanks. They're beautiful, but they need some of the water drained out of them. It's been a while. Thankfully, I have 2 big filters and they're full of plants, real plants. They're heavily planted on the inside and I have a lot of plants hanging out the outside. So they really help keep the water clean. But I really need to siphon out some water out of both of them. I need to do a lot of things. Tempted to go check the chicks before I leave for work because if they're too hot, I don't think my daughter would know what to do. Not that we haven't had hundreds of chicks before, but some days I think her brains went out with the boys. That's what I think some days. A lot of bad decisions and they just keep getting worse and worse. These decisions of hers. Blows my mind. I wasn't allowed to make bad decisions. I wasn't allowed to make decisions. But I sure as hell was not allowed to make bad decisions. Mom would have probably popped me. I know we gotta let them fall. But it's not shit that's going to teach her anything. Like, for instance, we raise goats. We have meat goats. We have dairy cross, but meat goats. And the kids show them in 4-H. She come home from work one night, and she knew her nanny was due. And she went out there, and she had triplets. Yay! This is a great nanny. If she needs help, you know it's going to be bad. She does it all by herself. Anyway, she had 3. They were up. They were clean. They were very new. And this is like 11 o'clock at night. And when we have a new set of babies, we move the nanny and the babies into the front stall. She left her in there. Now, in the past, yes, there's the occasional, when we first started with goats, we left them in there because we really didn't know what to do. You know, when we had our first like 4 or 5, we left the nannies in there with the kids, and they did fine. But the last 2 years, we've been moving the babies with the moms into a pen in the front of the barn. And just give them some time to adjust, learn how to count, because 3 is a lot. And she didn't do that. And she didn't get up the next morning. Now, granted, she got home at like 10:30 at night, but she didn't get up the next morning. And then she was in no big hurry to go out to the barn. And I'm like, girl, your goat needs put up. Oh, she's fine. Get out there and put her up. I says, why the hell didn't you do this last night? I don't know. Literally, she told me, I don't know. Because she should have been put up and given grain. We always give them grain after they kid to help their blood sugars. So that, and, you know, the extra just helps their milk production. She's a dairy goat. She doesn't have milk production problems, but we always give extra. Ooh, I got an itch. And she was mad because I was getting grumpy. Yes, get out there and take care of your nanny. I don't know, just a lot of really stupid decisions. She come home one day and told me she was going to pay $100 to $200. She wasn't sure what it is. But for her part of a limo for prom, the prom, what do they call it? The prom parade. So the kids drive through the little town they go to school in 30, 45 minutes. So they were a bunch of them was gonna rent this limo just to drive through town and be dropped off at the school. We are not people with money. Ignore the fact that I just spent $50 on 6 chicks and just as much money in gas. Oh, probably $40 in gas. So ignore that fact. We are not people with a lot of money. And she's just like, yeah, I am doing this. I'm like, do you realize the expense? Well, it's my money. Yeah, but you're not going to have money for long, dear. And it's just, she needs meat. She needs a lot of meat. It's been, her decision-making skills went out the door somewhere. Absolutely out the door. I probably had a lot of bad days, but I don't remember. Like I said, my mom would have beat me if I was allowed to make a decision. Mom would have been very growly if I made bad decisions. I don't know. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. She does work. She works three evenings a week in a restaurant, tavern kind of place. She's in the back. She's one of the cooks in the back. You know, I taught my oldest didn't really learn to cook, but the younger two, I taught them early how to cook. So she walked into that place not understanding how to cook for hundreds of people, but the basics. She knew the basics. Her boss just kind of had to fine-tune her and teach her for there. Of course, after a while, she'd come home thinking she knew everything and tried informing me what I needed to do different in my own kitchen. That didn't fly. She's getting better. Yeah, you don't do that to anybody. Things are not going to go well if you tell somebody what they're doing in their kitchen is wrong. I caught her one day chopping something, I don't remember what it was, on the counter. We do not have stainless steel countertops. You cannot chop food on the counters. Oh boy. Man, my eyes are puffy. Is that going to go away today? Man, it looks awful. Do I normally look this bad in the morning? No wonder I don't look in the mirror. So yeah, we have a game plan for today. I guess. It's getting awful long. And it's about time. You know what? I can leave a list for the kids to do today. I think Josie is going to work on shoveling the old chunk pea-soaked bedding out of the barn. I don't know why it's taken her so damn long, but it is. She's been at it a little here and a little there for a couple weeks. She still hasn't gotten to it. It's like, Jesus. So she's going to work on that more today. My boy actually needs to get his side done too, because he already did his once. So it started filling back up again, because those goats waste a lot of hay. So it started filling back up again. So he needs his turn to do it. And we're just so busy, it's hard to get somebody out there to get it done. Because when everybody is here, it seems like it's go, go, go on the weekends. So she says she's going to work on that today. At least the goats won't be adding to it, because we have moved their feeder outside. So they are now eating outside. The worst they're going to have is some rain. But we only feed one square bale at a time. So if something, if it gets wet and they refuse to eat it, and it's not a big deal. It kind of is, because I only have maybe 20 bales of hay. So it is kind of a big deal. We don't want that to happen. But I had my group of older babies had pneumonia, and I treated them all, saved them all, no big deal. But everybody was staying in the building, and it was, in the daytime, 70 to 80 degrees. At night, it dropped back down to 30 to 40, and everybody was staying in the building, in the old barn. So getting their hay outside is the best thing in the world for them. Just gets them out of the stale air. I don't know what the problem is with them being inside a lot, but it seems to be a difference. So get them out and, outside in the fresh air. Do them wonders. Yeah. We'll discuss the meat goats in farming another day. We are farmers, and it's the way I was raised, the way my husband was raised. Even with our few animals, we feed the world. Oh, we feed somebody anyway. Oh God, there's wrinkles. It is a morning, So it's just water this morning. Hopefully I can hold that on my lunch till lunch, because I lose weight better when I fast till noon. And I have a lot of weight to lose. So we'll be done for now. And God, can we take a nap? I could use a nap. My gosh. If I left, it's almost 6. If I left, say, at 6:30, I could be at work at 7. And I can all come home like at 3. There's an idea. Could do it. It's awful quiet around there in the mornings. All right, gonna get off here and go find something to do. Bye.